Welcome, everyone who is online. Welcome. Today is Thursday. Whoop, whoop. Welcome. Go ahead and chime on in, everyone. Today is Thursday. My prayer is that as we all getting ready and getting set, I'm getting ready to go ahead and share today with everyone. Chime in, hit that like button, share for those who are trying to come in. Today is Thursday. It is September 21st, episode 35. So go ahead, hit that like button, share with some family members. Welcome everyone who's just chiming in. Share. So all of those who are on Instagram, Facebook, Restream, TikTok, you guys hit that like button and share. I'm excited for today. I really am. I'm excited for everyone who had an amazing, awesome cycle. I know y'all are just for some getting off for work. And so with that being said, go on ahead and hit that like button and share. We got to get ready for today. Yes. Today. I am truly excited. It is a blessing to be up here on live today to share with you. I know some people are just chiming in, but today we're not going to be on too long. So for those who are new to me, I am your co-host, your spiritual sister, your psalmist, your inspirational encourager, your Reiki healer, and herbalist, Cynthia J. So go ahead, hit that like button, share. Get ready. Everyone, I know y'all had an amazing week. And for those who week has started off rough, I send out my love and my peace and my joy to you to encourage you, to uplift you, and so many other ways. Yet again, we are going to be on episode 35 today. On the topic are, why are some mothers ashamed of their past? And for all of you guys who had a chance to, and if you haven't had a chance to, please do so. If you guys had a chance to look at Kirk Franklin's YouTube episode. If y'all have not had a chance, please go out and listen and watch Kirk Franklin's YouTube episode on his life story and what he has gone through this year on 2023. I tell you, I had another topic, but my spirit would not allow me to leave. And so with that being said, again, go ahead, everyone, hit that like button, share, chime on in. Again, I'm your co-host, Cynthia J, aka herbalist, birth and doula, psalmstress, Reiki healer, and so much more. We on episode 35. Why are some mothers are ashamed of their past? For those who are just chiming in, again, hit that like button, share, subscribe. All of you guys can find me on all social media platforms. Yet again, as for those who are just coming in, I'm sharing my love for you this amazing week. If you had a rough week, I still extend all my love and my joy to you, to encourage you, to uplift you, to inspire you, and so much more. But today, what led this topic was me sitting down and actually watching a YouTube episode on Kirk Franklin. And I know a few of some brothers that actually experienced the same thing he has. And I have to say mothers, because mothers play a major part in their children's life. I know you guys have heard me several times before getting up on here talking about we have to hold ourselves accountable as women, and including men as well, and so many other topics dealing with our children. Yet again, this episode is necessary. So go ahead and send this link to your family and friends, those who you know who have experienced this, those you know who are going through it right now, and for mothers who are holding back on their children. But I'm going on to this topic to say why mothers are ashamed of their past. as I was watching, the episode season, well, I don't want to say season, the story of Kirk Franklin, it bothered me to my spirit. I got really emotional. Hey, how are you, beautiful Brazilian? Yes. And I love you guys on TikTok. I really do. I mean that. But anyway, it it hit me to the core. When I tell you it hit me to the core, it hit me to the core. I had started crying. I can feel his pain. I can feel his emotions. I can feel his frustration. I can feel everything as I was watching it. And I couldn't stop myself. And I'm like, are you serious? This man had thought that the man who he known to be his father for so long. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting something chiming on in. I'm on live, hon.
Oh, yeah. Triangle kept calling me.
Okay, I'll call him back. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, with that being said, it's just been so much going on. But as I was watching that, I just felt his pain, as I was saying. And I was frustrated because this is stuff that I actually see all the time, things that I actually encounter all the time with men that I know within and outside of my family, and even friends of other friends. And I was like, oh my God, to think that a man that you known as your father all your life and you have a certain emotion and feeling towards him, and then to come find out later, you turn around and this man that has died and you had paid for all burial expenses that you thought for sure was your father was not your father. Like, seriously, not your father the whole entire time. And as I was watching this, I'm like, what? He buried this man thinking he was his father. He asked him some questions. He was expecting some kind of, nuggets and guidance or some word of encouragement before this man left this earth. And this is not his father. What? And how he stated again, for those who have not seen it, please go and watch it. Go on YouTube and listen to the story of Kirk Franklin's life this year. And he has an album that's coming out next month. And why he has gone through this journey. People don't understand our life is a journey. You got to go through a lot of obstacles and hoops and straddles through your journey, through your destiny. You will be persecuted. You will be bamboozled. You're going to go through some things. And when I tell you Kirk Franklin has gone through some things, people think that, okay, well, Kirk Franklin's a celebrity. That's natural. They go through. No, this man had came from the bottomless pit. For some who are going through that right now. For people like me and myself, I was there. Bottomless pit to come now, even in your adult life. And he's 53. I think he said he's 53 years old. And now all of a sudden, you're still going through some stuff. And you like, wow. So anyway, come to find out that a friend of his who knew of someone else who was going to a funeral at a particular church that he is, to go to, that his real biological mother went to. He didn't want to go because of some other stuff. But again, I'm not going to tell too much of the story. But to make a long story short, it had to be a friend of a friend and said that they dated his mother. And come find out, as this particular person said they dated his mother, the person who stood there and looked at him said he looked like him, everything. This man that said he dated his mom didn't know nothing about Kirk Franklin. Nothing. And to find out this man was willing to give his DNA, he gave his DNA before even meeting Kirk Franklin to sit down and talk with him. To come find out that he was his father. To find out that that man was his father and the man knew nothing about Kirk Franklin being his son the whole entire time. He was not even given an ink, nada, nothing at all. Not even an inkling. And that's a shame. That is a shame. And so to go back and he talks to his mother, and his mother had already warned him before he even met this guy, even received the DNA, and said, you're going to hear rumors going around. It was like she already was going in, making sure that she was settling the situation before it escalated. Again, for those who are chiming in on TikTok and those who are trying to rest stream and Instagram, we on the topic today on episode 35. Why are some mothers ashamed of their past? Pertaining to the talk about Kirk Franklin and his family and his life story. And so to have this conversation with your mother, and then you actually hear from the person, and then this person gives you the DNA, doesn't even meet you yet, just gives his DNA just to take a risk with it. And then to come find out he is your father, you call your mother up, and then you find out that she says, no, it's not true. It's impossible. Whatever she's saying, she's denying it one bit. She's rejecting it. To go back again and take another test and come find out he still is. And his mother still was going to reject it. His mother still was going to hold herself and take that to her grave, guys. And I am discussing this because there are too many mothers out here, and you're wondering why. And I just can't fault you guys all the time, us mothers, but there are some mothers out here who are doing things beyond what they are doing. This woman held on to her lie. She is holding on to it. She is denying it. She do not want to say nothing. But there are mothers out here. If you are holding back on your sons, you are delaying their destiny. You're delaying their progress. You're delaying them from the truth of knowing who they are. Even to the daughters, the same thing. You're doing it. You're repeating a history. You're repeating some things that should not be done. And it is killing your family. It is hurting your legacy. It is hurting your children. And you wonder why that now they're trying to request for a law to be passed in the United States of America for to have a DNA test done once you deliver your child. I know you guys have sit back and paid attention, looking at a lot of other podcasts, looking at shows like Maury Povich. Everybody knows about Maury Povich. Everybody knows about Paternity Court. Everyone watches these episodes all the time, and you see, you get up there, and I mean, I can see the passion. You know how many times I love seeing a brother who is so out here, who is in love with their child, who wants to do the world for them, be on these shows, and all of a sudden say, you are not the father. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I am just grateful that I was raised around some surrounding women who always remind me, hold yourself in the most respectablest way as possible. Do not allow yourself to be open to anybody. Some of us don't have that opportunity, but when you're around positive and encouraging people, even through your ups and downs, you know, it has to be a balance, like the yin and yang. You're going to get some negative, you're going to get some positive results. Yet again, you're going to go through some things. Still, don't get up out here and make yourself, as the old generation would say, the loosey-gooseys when you're unsure about some things. But even if you're unsure, hold yourself accountable. What's done is done now. But don't hold back and lie to your children. This situation hurt Kirk Franklin. I mean, when the show ended, guys, I was in tears. I just couldn't shake it. I was in tears. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And that has been the whole talk for the whole week since he has aired his story, his journey. And to sit back and to pay attention to what he had to endure this year, it's a test. It's a test of your character, a test of your faith, a test for a man to even know his man. So many things. It's like you have to question. And not just that, Him going through his things in life and trying to know how to be a man. Nobody gives you a silver platter and say, hey, this is how you become a man. This is how you become a woman. This is how you become a father, a mother. Yes, we understand that. This is not to judge anybody, but this is to speak the truth and nothing but the truth and only but the truth. And you don't look at your precious babies. But then again, like Kirk Franklin, his mom didn't fully raise him. He was raised by a family member who took the time to adopt him. And this man, I applaud him to share his journey, because there are so many people, so many brothers and sisters out there who are going through this right now. Some of them can't even fabricate what they're going to go through. Some of them are fighting depressions because of the trauma of not knowing who their parents are. Some of them look at it. Our children are young. Some of the children don't even know who their fathers are, and they're in school and they having father-daughter dances, sons and dad day, and mother and daughter day, mother and son day, whatever it is, and they can't enjoy it because they don't have someone there who is biologically their parent. And that is a shame, because they've either been lied to, or their parent wasn't ready to take on a responsibility at a younger age. Whatever happened in their life where they were taken away, we don't know. But what we do know is that when you do know, and you allow your child after so many years, and you want your child to hug you, and yet you're going to go to your grave with this lie? Come on now. I used to always wonder, and you know how people used to use this whole saying, Papa was a Rolling Stoner, but what about Mama? Like, geez whiz. Back in those days, people was very loose. And some of them are still loose today, but they out in the open about it. That's one thing I can say. They're out in the open about it. I'd rather for to know you're out in the open about it than to find out you're hiding and lying in the back. I don't condone it. Don't get me wrong. I do not condone it one bit, guys. However, I have to speak the truth. But to sit back and to see this man feel some kind of way, and he had to lyrically separate himself. And he told his mother he had to let her go, because she's causing more harm than what a mother's love's supposed to. And that is some real stuff. To sit back and watch that again, for you guys who have not taken the time to watch the story of Kirk Franklin, what he has gone through this year, and that others are going through the same thing like our brother. I don't know what else to tell you. Welcome for those who on Instagram, ADGP. I see you, sister. I see you guys, with those Shawana, those who are joining me on TikTok, and those who are with stream. Again, we on episode 35. Why are some mothers ashamed of their past? Why are mothers ashamed of their past? When you know that you've done something that you shouldn't have, just bring it in bits and pieces. When it's called time and season, even though time is unlimited, seasons. And with that being said, in the seasons when it's that right timing, that divine timing, if it's needed for your children to hear, you need to be honest with them. Because if you're not honest with your children, they're going to get information from the wrong area. And they're going to look at you differently. They're not going to learn to respect you. They're not. They're not going to even want to listen to you, because you're holding back and you're hiding like you've been this particular person all your life. We all know all of us are not no saints. But through our imperfection, when the door of opportunity opens, when your child is going through some things through their life, be honest with them. Do not be ashamed of your past. Do not be ashamed to talk to them about it. You be more ashamed when they find out about your past and they feel a certain way because you wasn't open. I've had girlfriends whose spouses have gone through so many things because of their parent past. This is why a lot of men become alcoholic. They get involved in drug abuse, so many other things, because they're trying to deplete that emotion, that feeling that they have going on inside of them. And they have no outlet. So their outlet is to do drugs, or their outlet is to be an alcoholic. Their outlet is anger. Then they start becoming abusive. Their outlet comes with other traumas, being kids, but look at children. That's why they bullies in school. That's why they bullies in school. Some kids just bullies even if they have really good, decent parents, so still can go through some dramatic trauma, not from their parents doing, but from outside people that you entrusted, or family members or whatever. Yet still, again, they're going through some things, and it's hurtful to them. And look at them. They going in their 80s, still drinking their life away. Because I used to always ask myself, I see men as they get older, they drink all day, every day, smoke all day, every day. I'm like, dang, these some drinking people. Dang, they can show smoke. I just started just like to do it. Not knowing, as I got older and as I was learning through life experience, being around people, those who I watched, learning from their life experience that had touched my heart, to see that they were going through some inner trauma, inner hurt, inner brokenness, having no way how to handle that. This is why you see a lot of people trying to work on themselves, journaling, like you see now. That's very popular on TikTok, shadow working and stuff like that people call demonic, but that's a whole nother topic. They are writing things down so that they can learn to heal. They are writing and recognizing and facing what they had to endure so that they can break loose from that trauma, that burden, as some people would say, that curse. Because again, it holds you back from all of your gifts. It holds you back from all of your talents. It holds you back from the things that you need in your life. Like, seriously. Hey, the Bud Doctor on Instagram, bro. I see you. And so Kirk Franklin's story, like, really hit home. And so when you see how people are, growing from their environment, like Kirk Franklin, he grew up in a rough environment. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of other people grew up in a rough environment. Some didn't grow up like in a rough environment, meaning like what city you lived in the state or whatever. Your rough environment can even be in-home environment, besides just the outside environment. So many other things. And so as I was listening to this, I'm just like, oh my God. I mean, when I tell you guys, I know individuals who know their children actual father and did not want them to know, or ashamed because they don't know. Like, seriously. Hello, I see you. I see you, brother, on Restream on Facebook. Welcome, Abraham. So yes, and so it's like, my God, like what can we do about this? Sisters, what can we do about this, brothers? Like, what can we do? Because the generation now is in it already deep because of those from past generation of certain particular elders. And y'all have heard me say this before, but certain particular elders, who are the ones that led these ones out here now to go wild goosey goose. Again, what can we do about this? How should we go about this? What are some ways to, help our people? So again, for those who just coming in, the topic is on episode 35. Why are some mothers ashamed of their past? Why are some mothers ashamed of their past? For those who are still just coming in, why are some mothers ashamed of their past? It's because this topic, again, for those who are just coming in, is talking about gospel artist Kirk Franklin. His story of this year is on YouTube. Go and type in Kirk Franklin's story. He also has an album coming out in October. His album is based on everything that he's endured within the last few years, especially in the last year or two, because I'm still, as I'm talking to you guys, my mind is still blown. Like, seriously, my mind is still blown. And so it bothers me as a mother myself. And, mothers who, especially back then, but it's still happening now. Mothers back then, if they were young and they got pregnant and they wasn't for sure who the father was, they tend to, back then, they would try to stick with the one that seemed like they had the most for themselves going, or it was more up to par for their parents, especially the fathers, if they had a dad in their life. But if the dad wasn't there and the mom was single and the mom was a widow, which majority of the time happened like that back in those days, that's how it was. Unless the mother was, as they say, fast, and or today, back in the day, as harlot, or however you want to call it. If that's the case, I could be wrong. And with that being said, they would choose the better guy, and knowing that that wasn't the father, would choose that guy and keep it moving. And then that guy is raising a child that's not his the whole entire time. I have actually come across people who thought that their child was their child the whole entire time, until there was either a blood transfusion that was needed because of match of DNA of the blood, a blood type. Sometimes your parent might, it just all depends on how your blood crossed. So let's say you have a parent who's O negative or O positive, and then another parent A negative, A positive, B negative, B positive, or AB negative, AB. Stuff we learn in science class. Stuff you learn in science and biology and things like that. So with that being said, it's very important that when these fathers, they're going up thinking these kids are theirs, bam, it's not theirs, or they want to donate a kidney or something. They want to make sure they're a match. Bam, you're not the flower, your DNA. What? After how many years now? Your child probably 40 years old, 28. Your child could be a teen, 17, 16, anything. And now all of a sudden, you find out they're not the father. That is also a traumatizing experience, not just to the child, but to that father as well. Because now you have severed a bond between the child and the father. And that's even, if it was a different scenario, even with, the mother, same thing. You severed a bond. And by you severing that bond, it's going to take a long time. And it depends on the child. If the child's like, okay, this hurts me, my mother did this to me, yet this man, I still see him as my father. But then the question going to be is that man still going to be the same one? We have a brother that just gave a comment. I'm about to read it. It says, mothers ashamed because they are so careless about themselves. The cause of vanity makes others to move from the real fathers of the child and give it to someone who don't own it because of money. That is so true. That is true. That's what I was saying, that there are some times where it depends on what their age was at the time. If they were younger, and the parent itself of that young girl who got pregnant will look at the wealth of that young man's family. Or now that you're up in age, you're old enough, you pass 18, 19, however you are, some of them look at, oh, this person, he's established, he can help me, we'll be set. That's how some women, some of them type of females think in their mind. They will be straight, we'll be set. I won't have to worry about financial means because this guy has the money over here. He's well known, or whatever it could be. And so that was a good comment, brother. I thank you for that. And so you'd be very amazed. There are some women out here who go after men just for their money, even though they can have, as we call here, a side dude. Because there's some women that got the guy who loves them, there for them. But then, as they say, they want to, what's the word here? Oh, they want a hustler. If you're in America, they say you want a hustler or a gangster, whatever you want to call it. And then all of a sudden, you still over here with the guy with the money, but you want this over here, and then bam, that's what that is. Come find out that your hustler was the father, and you having another man who's wealthy over here taking care of a child that ain't even his the whole entire time. Yes, that has happened a whole lot. And at the end of the day, you got this child again thinking that this father is his. This is who was raised up, who was laughing and giggling in his face. So again, for those who just chiming in late, again, I'm your co-host Cynthia J. We on episode 35. Why are some mothers ashamed of their past? And this is talking about the topic on Kirk Franklin. I'm telling you, like, this really stirs up a lot in the children. It stirs up a lot in your community. Do you know in some other cultures you'll be shamed for something like this? Some people don't even know that. You will be shamed. And another question is, with that being said, why are mothers and why are some women are lying to their children about it? Why? Think about that. Why are they lying to their children about this? Like, this is serious. Why would you lie to your children about who their father is? Why? Why would you lie to your children who their father is? Do you know it's better for you to hold yourself accountable and go through the process of the shame and hurt to come back out beautiful later, because your child will respect you more. You'll be looked upon so much more. Don't hide behind fakery. Do not hide behind fakery, sisters. If there's some of you sisters out here that actually are doing that, and even if your child is older now, you need to get on your knees and do some heavy, deep praying and realize that, hey, you know what? I'll live my life now. I got to come out with the truth. However you got to do it, do it. Tell your child the truth. Some of them some children, they adults now, they might feel some kind of way. But you see your child going through some stuff. You need to open up your mouth now. I'm telling you, open up your mouth now. And this is for real. My brother just spoke again. He said, blood is thicker than water, which means the blood of the DNA will never lie, even if they are hidden the truth behind the scenes. Come on now. You on fire, brother. That's true. I got to read this again. If y'all ain't listening, you better go ahead and hit that like button, share with a friend, chime in, subscribe. I got to read this again for my TikTok followers and Instagram and Restream and Facebook. Our brother said he said, blood is thicker than water, which means the blood of the DNA will never lie, even if they are hidden the truth behind the scenes. It's going to come out eventually. It's going to come out. So you might as well say it. No matter how much you hide it. For real, because you're affecting your children in the long run. What if they turn around and they meet a sibling? I could imagine if Kirk Franklin, not thinking that the man he thought was his father all this time, that he buried was not his father, and turn around and another man, he found out his father through a friend, and then could imagine if he was married to a sister or something. Can you imagine? Even, let's just say that. Can you imagine? Let's say he knew this man, but he thought he knew this man to be his father-in-law, and then he married this woman. His wife, come find his wife could be his sister, and his father could be his father. Do you know how traumatizing that is? That's some stuff you hear from other people do some ancestor mess. That is traumatizing. Traumatizing to a child, a man, and a woman at that age. Let me go ahead and read this other comment. They lied to their children because they don't want them to find out the truth, who they were before. Y'all hear this? Let me repeat it again. They lie to their children because they don't want them to find out the truth who they were before. Let me tell you something. I never come up here to put anyone on blast. That is not my duty. Again, I speak the truth, nothing but the truth, only but the truth. I have to live and walk in the truth, even through my imperfection. And I will tell you this now. You better come out, because you're not going to like this. As on TikTok, Harmony says, they do. No one is perfect. That is true. No one is perfect. But even those, through their imperfection, they had to go through a metamorphosis to come out as a beautiful flower, to come out as a beautiful butterfly. You got to go through the shame. You got to go through the persecution, even through your imperfection. So you're better off, again, just telling your children. Tell them. Tell them. I mean, some parents don't tell their children until they're grown. Some parents have to tell their children because they left with no other choice, because somebody is getting ready to tell it, and the rumors escalating. As you see, Kirk Franklin had to find out because of rumors. His mother called him and said, be careful of rumors. You call your son, who is a believer of God, who walks and lives in the word, and to tell him not to believe in, even though he's not perfect himself, but he entrusts you because you mommy. Your mom. The one he wants to attach himself fully back to you. But every time he goes to do it, or every time she goes to do it, you keep drawing them back. You keep pulling them back. They like, red flag sign. They saying, stop, stay right there. Stop, stay right there. Because now they're growing up in a place where they can't trust. They can't trust. And the people they desire to trust the most, they unable to. And I thank God, I like my mom. I love my mother. She has been a most amazing woman to me. She's never held back the truth. She knew when there was a time and place when to tell something. And I had to go through things in my life. And when I was going through things in my life, and I know my mom don't mind me using her as an example, because she's my lioness. But when I was going through things in my life and I would talk about something, she'll be like, well, I had to let you learn on your own. Now it's the time. And then she would tell me stuff. I'd be like, why you didn't tell me this thing? She said, because there was a time and place when to tell it. Sometimes it gets like that for some parents, some mothers who know it's not the right time, because you don't want your children to have a behavior if they're younger. However, that's when you waited too long. And in some situations, it's just not the time for it at that point in time. But if you look at Kirk Franklin's situation, and like our sister Harmony said, she said the good, the bad, the ugly. You got to weigh it all. You have to walk with it all. You got to talk with it all. You got to carry it all. Like, seriously. Even when you don't like it, even when you don't want to. And I'm telling you, it's going to hurt. To my sisters out there, if you are holding back from your children the truth about who their real fathers are, please, this is not begging. This is giving you my heart of love to tell you, talk with your children. Sit down with them. If you don't know how to, get with someone who you entrust. And I mean for real entrust. Not just anybody. For real entrust. And ask them to be there with you. If you feel that you need to have some counseling on the side with your children, depending on their age, to help you, do so. Do so. because you do not want them to find out later on. Because some of these kids, they can't take it. You tell them all of a sudden they just fall apart like that. They fall apart like that. And I had to, experience seeing that firsthand. And it hurt. But I thank God because through it all, it still had to show the love, the family, the God, everything through the process of it all. So again, to my brothers out there who has been supporting children that they found out they were not theirs, I still salute you. Do not detach yourself away from them because they need you. They need you. Don't stop yourself. We need you. We need you. We need you. In these times we living in, we need you. Yes, some sisters out there, they have too much of this. We have that. Yes, like my sister said, love on them. Love on them. Love on them. I had one of my young neighborhood men. He's like, you might as well say my adopted child. And his father, had passed away. He's a twin. He's always showing up at my house. It's like watching one of them childhood stories or movies. The child is always at your house and you want to do to ever go home. Or for those who ever watch Sister with Rogers, everybody and the twins be like, Roger, go home. You don't never see Roger's mom, but Roger's always at the sister's house with Thie and Tamara and then when they was playing on Sister. But that's kind of like how it is over here. But I never just kick him out. I'll ask him, are you hungry? What you need? To actually hear this young man one day say to my husband and I while we were taking them out, him and our daughter out to the arcade, and he said, I look at Mr. Mike like my dad. And I was like, wow. And I felt that when he said that. And it's like, you don't know, just that little bit that you do attracts that child. It draws the babies. It brings them. And they remember it. And they can use that later on to tell in their life. And like our brother said, and I love what he said, he's right. God is great. And with his greatest, he will always reveal the truth of us, even if they are hiding it to the real fathers. That's true. Because truth be told, these children, they just want to be loved. They just want to be shown some attention. Some of them can be a little overly seeking attention. And welcome for those who just chimed in, Ray and Valu. Again, they just need that real love, not this counterfeit stuff that's going on out here right now that's hindering our children. They desire that real love, genuine love, disciplining love, that disciplined heart, stern love that will birth more amazing abilities out of them so that they can take that love into someone else. And I'm going to share this part of a story with you guys. So yesterday I was with one of my ladies and I work for a particular company, but she's not with that particular place anymore. And so I had the honor and the privilege to be around the family, and she had adopted son. He was Caucasian. But I tell you, he looked amazing. He looked young for his age. I was like, wow. And when I was there with him and her, we would talk for 3 hours straight. 3 hours straight. And watching movies. But anyway, he passed away last week. And when I found out about it, it shook me. And being there at the service yesterday, it still shook me because I was like, God, this man had love in him. You can feel it. Like when he came near you, you can feel the love in him. Like seriously, you can feel the love in him. Thank you for joining in. Be yourself. I see you, love. And I'm still trying to grasp in my mind right now because he took me back to my grandmother and she got to live her life on. But this man was still young. He was only 2 years older than me. He was still young. But the impact that he had, I'm telling you, he impacted so many people that his son saw it. I'm getting emotional while I'm telling you this story. His son saw it. And I only knew this man for a year. He was her adopted son. She took care of him when his mother was going through some stuff and his father, whatever happened to them, he was the oldest. Yet, my lady took him in. And when I tell you the last time I remember, I said, she didn't even remember this, and I told her, because I gave her a DVD. You know, when some people pass on, they give you a DVD to have memories of people. And I said, oh, I said, you know, you can watch this, because she was like, but I don't have a DVD. I said, yes, you do. I said, that was the last thing he mailed to you before she left the company. And they call on me all the time, even without the company. And they just love me. And I thank God for that honor and that privilege. And I had to remind her, he gave you his biggest gift. He gave you what you said, I wish I can watch videos and look at this and look at that. And I happen to remember he gave you a DVD player. That was the last thing he gave her 2-3 months back. And I went in there and I found it and I said, now you have it. And she cried. She said, I don't know what I would do without you. She said, you tell your mama. I said, thank you. That she birthed out an angel. I said, let me share something with you. You don't realize that you poured more love into somebody else's child. And he doubled back, not knowing that he was going to have me for 3 hours with this man I had just met. And before I know, he kept coming throughout the times when he know I would work. And we'd be sitting there hours watching movies together. Made me feel like family. I'm just a worker. But I thank God for that. Our brother said, only a woman who can talk you his son or daughter, his real father is, but sometimes they hidden the truth and lie about it. And that's why some children become, yeah, that's true. Some children become to hate their parents after finding out the truth. Yeah. And this adopted son that she had, his mom and dad did some crazy stuff, but yet he loves so much from her. And she took heart, and to see all the people come to her, they still went to his mom, but they came to the adopted mother. And I mean, they loved on her, and she cried and she cried, and they loved on her, and she cried. And I'm holding back my tears because it just felt good that I was there to honor with him, with them, of him. And I walked up to his son and I said, I know you don't know me. I said, I just want to tell you, I said, I met your dad through his adopted mom, your adopted grandmother. And I said, I just need you to know that your dad loved you. We sit down and we talked about our children. Even though his son was out here doing some crazy stuff. Oh, I love you too, Mom. My mother's on here, guys. And I say, your dad, he wouldn't give up on you. He did not give up on his son. He would constantly keep telling his son about God in him and tell him to love, genuine love, not this counterfeit love, this fake, fictitious love. And when they was talking about it, it took me back to my grandmother, how she loved, and how many people show up. Like my grandma would give her last off her back. My grandmother took care of other people's children that did not know who their fathers were. And my grandma knew a lot, but that's a whole nother story. But my point is that our he didn't give up. And that same thing goes for Kirk Franklin. He's not giving up. And he went back to his son. He shared what he was going through to his son. He's battling through his son. His son thinking, oh, dad, you're an adult. You should know how to handle this. So and so. You just never know what's going on in kids' minds. Because think about it. These kids are hurting too because their parents was hurting. So guess what? When their parents is hurting, they hurting too. They going through it too. That's why on episode 35, why are some mothers ashamed of their past? We got to get over being ashamed of our past. What I mean by get over it, I mean work through it. Each day, if you got to get you a journal, if you got to give you a recorder, download the apps. They have it on these smartphones now and put it up on there and record about what you've been feeling, how guilty you felt, what you wish you can change. If you don't want to go to counseling, whatever, just go through it. Because somebody one day is going to need to talk to somebody about how to handle these things. And you're going to be the person one day who's already gone through it, who already been a living testimony, who may help somebody else to learn from your mistakes. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. And this right here hit the nub. It hit the nub. I'm telling you. You're right. Like my sister said here on Facebook, she said, time for everyone to heal. We need to heal because we're hurting. We're hurting everywhere. When you hurt, I hurt. I know you're like, well, you don't even know me. You don't you don't even know where I'm from. Well, let me share something with you. I connect with you. A branch connected to a branch, that branch connected to the tree bears the roots. You're right about that. Our brother said, a father's love is a love with treasure, always. And there's no father out there who will have a son or a daughter and throw it unless he went or she don't know about it. In some cases, that is true. But you'd be very amazed. There are some fathers who get pushed away because of the mothers. Some fathers are being pushed away intentionally because of mothers. That's why they don't continue to keep being around their children. And then there's some that just are unaware that they have children. I met a man 5 years ago, and then I'm not going to hold y'all guys up because then after that, I'm going to share my excitement with y'all after this. Some good news. And as I was listening to this man years ago, he never even knew he had a son. He never had any kids throughout his life that he was unaware of. So he's older. He always wanted kids. He just didn't find the right one, I guess. I didn't go too deep into it, but I just let him talk. Then as I was listening to him, he eventually found out he had a child. This man was grown. I forgot how he said he found out, but he missed out in all the important years that he really wanted to do. Yeah, you're right. That is so true. He missed out in all the important years, guys. All of the important years. And he said out of his own mouth, I really, really, and I know I don't like to use the word wish, but we all use it. He said, I wish I had been throughout all his years. And I could see his eyes watering up. And I said, I understand. And I just gave him a hug. But I asked him for permission first. And I said, I wish that I could come in and heal wounds for you. So to any of my brothers out there, please pay attention who you have your children by. I really don't condone having children outside of marriage. I don't condone people to go outside of their marriage, because then you're bringing other things in that you're unaware of. To my sisters, I've seen this happen, and this is happening a lot more now than ever before. If you are married and you're out here, and I've been seeing a lot of TikToks on these videos out here, and I'm not going to make it seem like, and I know you're probably like, well, you beating up on us women. It's not even about beating up on women. It's really not. It's about holding all of us accountable. But it starts with women first, because we are the tree of life. We birth life. We have to nourish life. We have to do so much. Even if we didn't ask for it, we still have to do it. Welcome for those who are just chiming in on the TikTok. I see you guys. I'm your co-host, Cynthia J. We on the topic of episode 35, why are some others ashamed of their past? But, if you're out here and you are committing infidelity in your marriage and you're having children, and come find out the children are not the husbands, remember how much damage you are doing to your household, to your legacy, to your image by your children. I mean, you can care less what people think, but just pay attention to that, because that right there is going to put a hindrance, and as people say, cause a generational curse to the next. And then you wonder why your child is doing the same thing you did from the past. Because I'm seeing that happen a lot more. I've been coming across a lot of Instagram reels, Facebook reels, all types of social media stuff. And I know you guys have seen it, because I know I'm not the only one, where you're seeing women are married and getting caught. And how the fathers know that the child is not theirs, again, is because they're having some blood DNA test done, or they done heard something through the grapevine whispering in their ears. People's like, well, why would you allow that doubt or anybody to speak something in your ear? Well, somebody heard something, and now they getting ready to question it, so they out here swabbing. I'm telling you, they are going to pass this law if y'all don't stop playing around, to have DNA tests done before the fathers. If you over here in the United States of America, they're going to have a test done before the fathers that they think that's the fathers signed them birth certificates. That's why you hear talk about a lot of bastard babies and all other kind of stuff. There's so much going on. There's a big agenda going on out here to cause chaos in the homes and the communities or families. So if you out here doing some stuff and ain't handling your business like you supposed to, I'm telling you, it's getting for real, because they're about to pass it. They already got it in the works. Trying to tell you. As sister said, she said they're doing it now in VA. VA is Virginia, for those who don't know. Yes, they are. And back in the day, would I had agreed to something like this? I'm like, no, how you going to try to tell? We know who is. But now, the stuff that I've been seeing, the stuff that I've been hearing, and the stuff that I have experienced with other people, I'm like, you know what? Bump all that. Get a DNA test. I had experienced that with my own sibling. So I'm sharing with y'all, you got to get the stuff done, because there are some females, you ain't even saying women, females that's out here doing some crazy things that is jeopardizing the character of real women And guess, and it makes me feel bad. 'Cause trust me, if I turn around and have another one, I already know I'm gonna get deep. They're gonna DNA test me. I don't want nobody taking nothing of my DNA in my blood. I really don't. However, I wouldn't have to worry about it because I already know the truth. So why not just go ahead and get it out of the way? But thank you for the ones that has opened up this can of worm. Thank you to the ones who has opened up this doorway and messed it up now. Because now you got other places and people saying that women are liars. Yeah, the talk is against the women now, sisters. Back then we say all men are liars. I never agreed that all men are liars. Just me saying. Do people lie? Some people lie, yeah, some people lie. They do. Is all men are liars? No, I never thought of that. Because somebody else out there is a bigger lie than the other. So with that being said, thank y'all for joining in for episode 35, or why are some mothers are ashamed of the past. Again, if you have not got a chance to watch that story on Kirk Franklin, please do watch the whole thing. Like, seriously. I don't know how you're going to feel, but I know it had me emotional. Like, for real, for real. I was very emotional. I felt his pain. I was angry with him. I was like, this woman, I said, this woman gonna take it to her grave. She know daggone well she wrong. She knows she wrong. She knows she wrong. I'm telling y'all, it's just crazy. But I want to share some exciting news with you guys. So your sister was featured in Her Fire magazine. If you guys can see Her Fire magazine out here in the big VA. I'm excited. Her Fire magazine, the world's first master fire speaker trainer. And this is the magazine of the spring edition. And your sister is right here. This is me. For those who don't know, I'm so excited. I'm going to fold this up. Your sister was featured in. I'm showing everybody who's on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Yes. The world's top 20 influential women. And on here, I was featured. I am so amazed. I'm so honored and excited through Miss Angela Brand, who is Her Fire CEO, editor. She is the woman on the top notch. And I'm going to show you a picture of her in a few minutes. But let me read this to you guys so y'all can hear it. I'm just excited. Second magazine influential this year. I didn't get a chance to show y'all the elite one back around March, but I'm going to bring that back up after next week. So let me read this real quick. It says Cynthia J on here, number 3. The question was, what is an influential woman to you? The answer that I answered when it was sent to me, because I didn't know somebody nominated me. A woman of virtue who breathes, eats, walks, and lives in obedience, knowing to trust with faith and God entirely. Then the quote, one of my quotes that I love speaking the most. The greatest student is the greatest teacher, and the greatest teacher is the greatest student. That's one of my mottos, and that is so true. Cynthia J, known as AKA Cynthia Jones Newell, is a mother, a wife, a birthing doula, certified herbalist, healer, and last yet not least, psalmist in the ministration of inspirational music. Cynthia J is a singer and a songwriter, and who has been nominated, which I have for those who had not had a chance to go and look at my bio on my background. I was nominated 2 times in 2021 and 2022, nominee of Ghana Music Awards in Africa. I'm trying to make my way here in America. Born and raised, grassroots here. And in 2022, nominated for Gospel Choice Award, and has been in love with helping and encouraging others to aspire. Cynthia J has been singing since she was 5 and has continued to flourishing for God's kingdom. It is the heart of the Lord to reach those alongside with her co-partner, her sister, Tasha Perkins. Yes, my sister is up here. Yes, whoop, whoop, whoop. My sister's in here, Tasha Perkins. Yes, she is. She is my co-partner in Healing Hearts Tailor-Made Birthing Doula. We are birthing and postpartum doula. For those who do not know, if you're looking for a birthing doula is someone who's next to a midwife. We're there as a servitude to help guide you, instruct you, to help you through your nutrition, guides, and your healing process for your body physically and spiritually, and so much more. We are also there for you, even if you lose your treasure. We have experienced that. If you lost a child at childbirth, we are here for you. We are here to not just counsel you, we can come to your home and just be a guidance to you, help support you if you need help, because there are some women after going through things during birth who may not be able to get out the bed or do anything. We are there for you. We can help uplift you. You need some house chores done. We are there. We don't care. We right here in VA in Northern Virginia. So if you need a birthing doula, please reach out. You can find my information for those who are on TikTok. You can find my information right in my bio. Click on my link tree. Healing Hearts Tailor-Made Doula is attached, and the telephone number is there. Also, if you're on Instagram, you can do the same thing. Go on my profile. The link is in the bio. And for those who are on Facebook, same thing. Link tree is on the bio. But last but not least, I'm going to finish reading this. And like I said, it's Tasha Perkins of Healing Hearts, Tailor-Made Doula to help families. Thank God for those who are my divine helpers, who continue to encourage and support Yahweh's ministry. Her heart and passion for God. Sorry about that, guys. The sound went out. For God's people. And so, with her heart and God's people, to start with her family, growing up, singing, and so much more. So if you are on there, you'll see that on here. I'm truly excited. If you haven't gotten this magazine, please do so. I have shared it. This is the CEO. Yes, this is the CEO, Angela Brand. I thank her for sharing this. I got to give shout out to all my spiritual sisters out there who have supported me in this journey, my spiritual brothers, those who are really there for me, like for real, because some people don't understand how hard this journey is, and it's not easy. Her contact information, if you want to start, you'll go www.angelabrandenterprise.com. Her information is back here. So I am excited, like for real. I feel like a little kid at a candy shop. But anyway, again, if y'all looking for a birthing doula, reach out to your sister. If you're looking for somebody to do seminars and nutritional healing, come out to you, reach out. You know, you can find us anytime, anywhere on these platforms. All my information or information dealing with Healing Hearts Tailor-Made Doula and other things are in this link on the link tree. So please get up there, guys. Share it, hit that like button. You can email at cynthiaj.gospel. You will find me there. I'm telling you, you'll find. If you haven't got a chance, please do so. All information for those who are rich streamers at the bottom. You can find on the link tree /CynthiaJ.gospel. You can find me on Instagram, CynthiaJ.gospel, Facebook, Cynthia J, and YouTube at CynthiaJ22. So do not be ashamed to get up there if you need anything. Again, I'm your herbalist, your Reiki and inspirational energy healer, your spiritual healer, and so much more. And I am just thankful that God has me with my sister to do these wonderful things. God bless you, Brother Abram. A spiritual woman is a woman that gives deeply in love and affection with around her. And she is also a woman of caring. I thank you so much for that, brother. I really do. I really do. I really do love you guys. I thank y'all for support. And for those who've been following me since 2019, thank you, thank you, thank you. I may not have a lot of followers, and it's not about that. What it is that people are being reached. We are being healed. We are being saved. We are being encouraged. And yes, we're gonna bump heads at times, but it's coming from a loving place. Out of love. Nothing but love. So, with that being said, to all my friends and family and loved ones and those who I just met, because in spirit we still family, I love you guys. Thank you for joining the Cynthia J Show podcast. Again, I am your co-host, Cynthia J, psalmist, inspirational healer, birth and doula, singer and songwriter, and so much more. So get up there. If you haven't checked out any of my music, go on YouTube and look up Cynthia J. You can type in this month, made it a year for My Story is for Your Glory. I'm excited. 1 year. So let's try to reach 100,000 views. Let's try to get there. So if you haven't got a chance, go up here on my page, hit that button on TikTok, go watch that video. For those who haven't got a chance, please do so. I love you guys. Stay blessed. For those who are on stream, stay tuned for some commercials. I am excited. And I thank you all again for joining in, sharing your love, and so much more. You guys have been amazing. Peace and love.
in my hands, increase in my hands, speed on my feet, speed.
My story is for your glory. My story is for your glory. It's for your glory, Lord. I worship you today. I give you all the praise. For my story is for your glory. My story, Lord. My story is for your glory. My story is for your glory. A journey to fulfill.